Time is 10:02 a.m. Capturing that video, showing you the evidence. The case is already complete against the state of California and the exposure of the Nephilim, who are engaged in targeting American citizens in the way that the U.S. government in California is exposed. The mentally ill are engaged in repeating the ongoing evidence of them stalking while they're being documented. It's 10:02 a.m. The entities, that's the mental illness, by the way. So at the same time yesterday, the entity is indeed engaging in the pattern of conduct where you are listening to what is evidence of stalking and also evidence of mental illness. And this is shared by the entity that is using planes and helicopters to target an American citizen in furtherance of murder. And while we are going over that, I just want you to see the faces of those that are going to be subject to what is federal prison. Engaging in what is surveillance is the entity that is calling itself a police department, and the entity that is targeting in furtherance of murder, which is the entity that is engaging in gang stalking using commercial airline planes, doing so under the corrupt leadership of somebody that is entirely unfit for office. This is under the watch, the knowing criminal and corrupt conduct. This is Paul Leon's handiwork. He's being removed from office for the criminal monitoring that the city of Ontario is obviously engaging in, as now what are acts of desperation when you are caught engaging in what is stalking in the absurdly psychopathic manners that the city of Ontario is. You do not engage in more of it in real time while it's being captured, but for being a psychopath and the demons that are engaging in that. This is shared by the leadership of the Ontario International Airport. These are terrorists, and they are going to be subject to what is removal from position. They are losing their jobs. They will never have anything to do with any sort of airport or flights, pilots, any sort of leadership, and they're going to be, with regard to prosecution, identified as the domestic terrorists that they are. And every plane that's coming from the Ontario International Airport is doing so with the knowledge of these terrorists who are going to be removed from the positions where they pose a threat to the national security, and they pose a threat to the public. While the entities engaged in what is targeting me, this is what the city of Ontario is doing against ordinary American citizens that don't have the evidence of the P.O.C. to prove that psychopaths, the Nephilim, corruption at the level of what is a local and state government and federal government is engaging in what is targeting American citizens in ways in which defy what a normal human being can fathom. That's what's relevant regarding the plane activity that you're listening to while demons are sitting back watching me expose them. Now, yesterday at the same time, you looked at what was the entity stalking in planes like they are now, and doing so, and I want you to listen to it, and you're going to pay attention to where I'm located. What you're looking at is the downtown Ontario luxury apartments, and in this video, what you're looking at is the downtown Ontario luxury apartments right here. On the, what is the north side is at the top. This is the south side of the same apartment building where the fake sun is at the same time over me, where the entity is identified as stalking. And the fake sun is on different sides of the same apartment building at the same time, where you're looking at also what is evidence of stalking, not only because no flights are taken off from the airport by hovering over Saris Regis, downtown Ontario luxury apartments, engaging in U-turns, doing so, which is evident under a fake sun. The sun that's still at the same Ontario Town Square after 6 p.m. In addition to that, I'm just showing you what is the fake sun at the same time while this airport, under the corrupt leadership of Paul Leon and Alan D. Wapner and a so-called Ontario board and a so-called Ontario executive team, sharing in the pattern of conduct by the so-called Ontario Police Department, are engaging in what is aerial surveillance and furtherance of psychological torture, which precedes murder committed by an entity that is demon-possessed, engaging in what is sacrifices unto Satan. That's what's relevant regarding this demonic environment and this blatant stalking using commercial planes. While I'm showing you a fake sun that's directly next to the clock, north of the downtown Ontario luxury apartments, and I'm showing you this fake sun that's over me in the parking lot of what is the Chevron where the Arco where I'm located. Okay, this is not next to the clock. What you see here at I'm starting this video at 9:58 a.m. is not here. It's very distinct. It's very clear. In fact, the apartment building itself stands between these two landmarks, identifying where the fake sun is situated over me at the same time, where you're looking at the evidence of an airport that is targeting. Airports are targeting in furtherance of murder, engaging in psychological torture, harassment, and with the intent to terrorize an American citizen. And they are mentally ill psychopaths who do so. In fact, they're so delusional and psychopathic. They engage in more of it, like you hear at the outset of this video, based on what is a guilty conscience, and psychopaths engage in more criminal conduct, more sexual violence, more terrorism as they are engaged, as they are demonic spirits. These are not normal human beings. These are the Nephilim. they engage in more violence as they are caught being exposed as demons and engaging in what is targeting American citizens, targeting people. Okay, and that's what's relevant regarding this video that I'm capturing of the entity stalking today. Flying what is the north side of the downtown Ontario luxury apartments at 9:58 a.m. where the fake sun is on the opposite side. This is the ovid. The fake sun is south east of this location while I'm on the opposite side of this apartment building, and the entity is... And that's what you're looking at here, and this is what is happening at the people of the state. That's their legal term under the law where domestic terrorism is exposed in the state of California. Alrighty, this is 9:57 a.m. This has nothing to do with any takeoff from the airport at 2500 Airport Drive, nor any landing at the airport, a takeoff or a landing. This is flying what is in alignment to my person, just like I showed you at the Ontario Town Square. And they're doing the same thing, stalking in my path, doing so where I'm positioned in the parking lot and doing a U-turn because the Ontario International Airport's not engaged in what is doing donuts for show, for pay. They're engaged in stalking, and psychopaths that are meant to so using helicopters do so as the people of the state. That's their legal term under the law where domestic terrorism is exposed in the... This is the entity that's in clearly distinct locations with the fake sun. I'm on opposite positions of the Ovid Family Community Library. Yesterday at this time, I then walked from this parking lot, showing the fake sun moving as I move, showing stalkers the entire time engaging in surveillance with the government that's using planes and helicopters, doing so as I am walking from the venue toward the library. The fake sun is now west of this entrance, already at the Ontario Town Square area. But yesterday, at this time, I am showing you what is the absence of that fake sun. As I approach this location, the fake sun remains over me in doing so. You see how it's moving as I move, as I approach what is this location where I'm at now, facing the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, where this fake sun is in this same position in the afternoon. This is 215 East C Street. This is the C Street turn circle. This is where I'm at in this video, facing this location in the absence of any sun over here, okay? And this is in this video where you're looking at what is impossible, an inconsistent environment. That is an environment that's tailored to the targeted individual who is indeed being stalked, who is indeed being monitored by demons, who is indeed under surveillance by a demon-possessed population and a corrupt government. This is the removal of Paul Leon from office. This is the removal of Mike Lorenz and Michael Gherkin and Alan D. Wapner, and the removal of the airport, the fire department, the entity that's engaging in surveillance in these ways, okay? It is currently, by the way, 10:10 a.m. This is the absence of any sun over the Ovid Family Community Library, where I'm capturing it as I walk in at 10:04 a.m. That's where Southwest Airlines and Delta Airlines are engaging in the demonic pattern of conduct, and they do so in furtherance of murder, just like Starbucks, that is sharing in what is a kidnapping with the Ontario police. They're doing so while they keep evidence of them terrorizing an American citizen that they are keeping under surveillance in furtherance of a criminal objective to murder. They're doing so with knowledge of that evidence, and this is the ongoing absence of any sun over that entrance, contrary to what I'm documenting at this time yesterday when I'm walking into the entrance of the library, and the fake sun is remaining over me as I walk into that venue. This is captured at 10:05 a.m. It is 10:11 a.m. There is no such sun that is over these demons who are engaging in monitoring vagina in the bathrooms, who are gang stalking demons. And this is what they're doing outside, being gang stalking demons. The demons that are engaging in what is kidnapping with the city of Ontario are going to federal prison. And it includes those that are stalking in commercial planes with that Ontario Police Department. I've documented their cooperative acts of monitoring while they're wearing nothing other than police uniforms, being the same demon-possessed entity, and doing so using helicopters, the most terrorizing means that American citizens are targeted with, and they are exhibiting demon possession in doing so. This is a fake sun that is not over the Ovid Family Community Library, where I'm documenting, by the way, since we're capturing it. We are at 9 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and capture it anyway because the fake sun remains over the Ovid Family Community Library at 4:25 p.m. That's this entrance right here. That's this entrance right here, where the sun is still not present. Speaking to stalking, that's crossing path. This entire apartment building is filled with gang stalkers. This bank, everybody that goes to work, everybody that goes to the ATM thinking that nobody knows that they're demons and that they're stalking a specific person. They're gang stalking in furtherance of murder, and they know exactly who the target individual is. They know exactly what the target individual is saying and documenting on their device. They know the status of the targeted individual's vagina, which is exactly why they are going to be documented and prosecuted as sex offenders in the state of California. And this is the categorical identification of mental illness that is covering a population that is engaging in this demonic pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:12 a.m. And just to show you one more vantage point, the entity that's engaged in this pattern of conduct is doing so with regard to the clear placement of that fake sun, which is remaining on clearly distinguishable positions of the downtown Ontario luxury apartments. The entity has the fake sun at the Chevron right here, where I am standing at the Arco parking lot right here, where I am standing in that parking lot, and the entity is maintaining that fake sun on this side. This is the downtown Ontario luxury apartment building here, and this is the Ontario Town Square. The fake sun's on this side of the apartment, where the entity is stalking with planes on this side of the apartment building. And today, at the same time, I'm capturing video of the entity with the fake sun over me at this Ontario Town Square, where the fake sun is on the north side of this same apartment building, and the entity is maintaining a fake sun over me, showing you that government that is stalking in concert with the people of the state. This is not traffic, it's surveillance, and that is not the operations of a legitimate airport. It is surveillance, and it's committed in furtherance of murder. This is indeed the pattern of conduct, and the gang stalking mayors throughout the state of California are being removed from office, being exposed as domestic enemies in the United States. Okay, terrorism in the United States is occurring by homegrown terrorists that hate this country, and you are witnessing them and their openly exposed demise for the Constitution and the American citizens enforcing their constitutional rights. They want to be sex offenders, they want to be serial killers, they want to be thieves, and they want to do it in violation of your constitutional rights and human rights, and that is speaking to those that are a threat to this country as a population practices that, okay? This is the ease with which the people of the state are gang stalking, and it is the P.O.C. All right, going on surveillance cameras, though, this is how you're going to prosecute, because the government is going to produce the business records, and this is how you're going to prosecute and identify those that are stalking in the path on behalf of a government, and does it through millions of people at one time. All right, this is P.O.C. I'm going to document these license plates, and this is the body of evidence speaking to, and that fake sun moves as I move. It's still not over. The entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is speaking to demons that are stalking. Going to the ATM is a means of criminal presence in the path. They're not focused on getting money out the bank. They're gang stalking. This is impossible light activity. This is not sunlight, nor is it the sun. These are demons. 8BPH260, 8XQV236, and let me show you what else. This is surveillance. These are the sex offenders that molest with impossible light. They know who you are. They are stalking, and this is the Nephilim. And the fake sun moves as I move. 240 North Euclid Avenue. This is P.O.C. And they are indeed engaged in what is targeting American citizens. That's engineer light stationary on the wall, and it's also dynamic while demons cross path. And Wells Fargo is a gang stalking venue. Wells Fargo is engaged in the P.O.C. Wells Fargo is a facilitating venue. Wells Fargo is knowingly engaging in what is that corrupt system. And these are the demon possessed that engage in surveillance with the government and furtherance of murder. P.O.C. It is currently 10:15 a.m. This is how a population is going to be prosecuted. And this is the federal RICO case against every business in California that's engaged in that pattern of conduct. It's federal stalking under Title 18 on the roads and the highways. And it's federal stalking with regard to the impossible light activity as they're monitoring while they're engaging in that ongoing violence and terrorism and psychological torture. P.O.C.